The busy city of Lincoln is a vibrant modern place where the high street is always full of activity. However, within this city, there are a number of people who have found themselves homeless. Estimates from 2010 state that 1,768 people were found homeless in England alone. In Lincoln, there are many different views of homeless people expressed by the public.
I think homeless people are a bit hard done by a little bit, but I think some of them obviously take drugs, drink, but if I see them in the street, if they're nice, if they seem alright, I'll give them a bit of money.
Homelessness to me, it's such a bad thing at the moment. You know, there's so many people and families affected, and we try to help in any way we can. And anything unwanted, it goes to Nomads, and that's our little contribution to it.
Quite a lot of people don't know and don't understand their lives and probably judge them a bit because of that.
In Lincoln, these people depend on an organisation founded 26 years ago called the Nomad Trust, which helps to get these individuals back on their feet with an emergency night shelter and rehabilitation guidance from volunteers and workers at the Trust.
I had no idea about homelessness before I came for the job. I applied for the job because of the skills I had and the job advert, rather than because it was a charity for the homeless. We're an emergency night shelter, direct access, which means people can knock on the door basically, and if they're in need of accommodation, and we'll take them in providing they pass risk assessment. Well, the main aims of the Trust has always been to help the disadvantaged. That's part of our mission statement. And we're going to do that by offering the service overnight over this winter. Really, we shouldn't exist. That would be the ultimate, because it would mean that there was no need for us. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening because we see the problem getting worse. We're only funded by housing benefit, which we claim per person per night, and donations from the public, churches, schools, and all our supporters. We've just had harvest donations from so many places, churches and schools particularly. They help out by doing charity fundraisers or just donate, they come off the street to give us money and products.
Recently, Nottingham-based charity Framework have set up a new homeless centre in Lincoln named after the Nomad Trust, which will hopefully help to lessen the issue of homelessness in Lincoln. But how will the new centre affect the Nomad Trust?
It will affect us in that we are now going to change our admission time to just be overnight, because we think that that's where there'll be a gap. Our street outreach worker, Peter, goes around and connects with rough sleepers who we hope to bring in here in the short term, but feed into Beaumont Fee and access all their services. And so hopefully to get them off the street, get them into more productive lifestyles and help them to get permanent accommodation.
I've worked for the Nomad Trust for about 6 years now. One of the best jobs in the world. I haven't always been street outreach. I used to be the caretaker, but I become more and more involved with the service users. I'm going to be down at St Mary's, so if you can find Shelley and meet me down to St Mary's later, we'll talk about how it's going to happen. All right. Well done, buddy. You're not going to be on the streets tonight. You'll be in your own room. When street outreach came up, it was like grab it with both hands, don't let go, and fight everyone else off. The job's yours. I cannot tell you what a typical day for me is like, because I haven't had a typical day yet. I do my street patrol from 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock. That's trying to engage with people out on the streets. I also do a Friday night patrol, so, whilst everyone's uptown getting drunk, I don't. I put my backpack on and I go up into the town and I try and engage with the people that are street begging or in the town that are rough sleeping. It's easier when you're offering things like drinks, hot drinks and things like that. It's about encouraging the individual to make some right choices and not street beg and bring themselves down to the night shelters. In the new night shelter, the one on Beaumont Fee, that's actually long-term accommodation, so up to 3 months they'll get to spend in the new night shelter, and it's a good opportunity. It's a way to retrain the individuals to actually give some kind of retraining. When you've been out on the streets, you kind of lose the things that you find easy. You know, getting up in the morning, washing yourself, taking yourself off to your work or school or to college. These are pretty standard things. Just paying your bills, you know. These guys haven't done it for such a long time that they need that retraining. The Nomad Trust gives me a quality of life that I've never had before. The job satisfaction is immense. When I actually help somebody and 3 months down the line I see them there and they're all nice and clean and they've got accommodation and they're on the way to work and they say, "Peter," and I say, "Oh yeah," oh, there's no better feeling in the world. I do think that the awareness in Lincoln is pretty good. Certainly the people that I talk to do seem to have a good understanding, although there are still stigmas going along. All homeless people are alcoholics and have drug problems. I think a bit more education, and again that's what street outreach is about, interacting with the general public and trying to break down some of those stigmas. We don't want to get too big. We are a local charity and we want to stay in Lincoln. We're not going to spread out and become a national company or a national charity. It's important that the Nomad Trust feels like a family. That's what we are, not just from the staff's point of view, but with the volunteers and the service users. We want them to feel part of something, to help the individuals grow. They've probably not had the influences from good parents and siblings. So if we can actually give those influences, we're more likely to get positive results. We have other projects in which we're branching out into, a furniture project, when people get their own properties, we can help them with kettles and toasters and cookers and washing machines so that they don't have to spend all their benefits on these things. I deal with difficult situations every day. And, what is a difficult situation? The fact that somebody comes to you and says, "I'm homeless, I can't go on with life anymore," or the fact that you've got somebody who's aggressive in your face and wants to beat you up. All of these things are difficult, but then again, life is difficult. So I'm just trying to ease and make things a little better, a little brighter out there, bring a little bit of hope and joy to the world. And hopefully the people that come in contact with myself and the people that I work with actually come out the other side feeling that the world isn't such a bad place and there are people that care and there are people that do want to help.
So I didn't have too much awareness of the problem because it wasn't something that had affected me. I didn't know anybody that was in that position. So coming here, it's made me realise how varied people are. Just because you're homeless doesn't mean that you fit a particular category, and people are often judgmental and make assumptions about homeless people, which is far from the truth.
Life in itself is hard enough without people screaming and shouting and falling down and all the rest of the things that you get on a daily basis. With any kind of difficult decision, there's always an answer to it. It's just whether you're prepared to go to those lengths to deal with that situation. And as far as I'm concerned, there's no length too long, no mountain so high that we can't actually deal with. It just takes a bit of time.
As Framework opened the new shelter in Lincoln and the Nomad Trust work together, there is a feeling of determination and hope among the workers and the local community to lessen the amount of homeless people in the area. Over the past few years, the UK government has put in place an action called No One Left Out, which states no one should have to sleep rough in 21st century Britain. And with the help of local charities such as the Nomad Trust, these numbers will continue to decrease.
It's pretty good stuff and a good opportunity.